All right, what's up YouTube? It's been a while since I've actually did a productive video. Most of you guys should probably know what this is if you're watching my channel. In case you're not, this is the clutch and brake pedal assembly on my 68 Ford F100. And we're starting on the 5-speed swap. So I figured the first thing I'd do would be to upgrade this and these aluminum bushings to some bearings from Mustang Steve. So let me grab that real quick. All right, so here's what you get from Mustang Steve. It is basically it's a ball bearing clutch retrofit kit. And these are the instructions that come with it. And there is welding required, just in case you're interested. It is required that you have a welder for this. And this is what comes in the kit. The kit's like 85 bucks, I think, plus shipping. And already right off the bat, it looks like I've got the damaged bushing. So I may have to call them about that, or just reuse one of my old ones. So my assembly is not bad. In fact, for the age, it's one of the better shaped ones. But it's going to get bad with the heavier clutch that's going to go in it for the 5-speed. So, oh, I can't get this bag open. All right, there we go. Let's see what we got. So, what you end up with is these races that you weld on, and these flange and bearings that fit down in them. And those actually fit over all of this and put that clutch pedal on a roller bearing, which is supposed to be much nicer. You get 2 of the bearings and the shims, a couple of flat washers, looks like some more washers, and 2 bushings, one of which is broke. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Like I said, thankfully mine are still in pretty good shape. And then a cotter key. Thankfully most of mine are in pretty good shape, so I won't need those, I don't think. I guess if we get to that point and we do, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And then, let's go ahead and grab the instructions real quick. Put all this back in the box. And here's kind of the lowdown of what you need to do to get everything installed. I'm going to go back to the assembled drawing. Schematic drawing. It's so much easier when you're not looking through a camera. So there is how things go together. So you got your clutch pedal, your shim, your bearing, your collar. Then it looks like, I'm not sure where we go. So this might be, so these kits are designed for Mustangs, but fortunately Ford used a lot of the same parts in dissimilar vehicles. So most of this stuff should adapt to this. I think there's going to be some parts left over we don't need, because on some of the vehicles, the brake pedal and clutch pedal were not in line like these are, where they rode on the same shaft. So, yeah, let's get this apart and get these bushings out and see how we go about getting that done. So let me put the camera down, I'll be right back. All right, well, that was pretty easy. So I spared you the beating on things with a hammer. What I did is I put this against my workbench. And as you can see, these things are just made out of aluminum. And the little ears get smashed out, and that's what retains them. Focus, there you go. So when you just give them a couple whacks with a hammer, it breaks all those little ears that get smashed out off, and then it just drops right out of there. So now we're gonna go about setting up all of this to use these. As you can see, that's gonna go in there just like that. And if you watch Mustang Steve's website videos that he has, he actually shows this kit getting installed on one of these that are in awful shape. It's all wallered out real bad, where the bushings give up, and then the clutch was basically riding directly on this stamped housing, and it's, you know, it's chewed out a groove clear out into here. But because of this kit, you're able to save that old piece. You don't have to, you know, redo the piece or anything like that. And then you get the option of being able to go back in and basically restore your old bracket without having to get a new one. So it's a pretty nice kit. Yeah, I'm gonna get this cleaned up a little bit and get this all mocked up, and I'll get back with you and then we'll get it welded. Okay, so before you weld this, you're gonna wanna get this shaft as centered in your old hole as you can. You can kind of go around it and fill it with your finger and see where it's, you know, out or not. But what I did is I put the clutch arm that activates the rod back on, put the nut on, tighten it all down. That all holds this together. Because if you don't tack these and weld these like this, and you get one of these cups out of alignment of the other one without this shaft in here, then you might have a whole lot of trouble getting this shaft back through here and everything be parallel, you know, lined up nice and straight. But you get what I'm saying. This all needs to be in alignment. Otherwise, putting this back together is going to be a nightmare. So I'm going to go ahead and weld these on now that this is all tight, and then yeah, we'll get back to the rest of it. I'll show you welding. You know, welding pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to use the MIG and do it with the MIG welder. And I don't have like a lens or a phone thing or anything like that. And I don't know if welding through a camera lens will be hard on it. So yeah, I'll be right back. All right, so here's the finished product. I mean, it doesn't take a great deal of welding. You can see I got it pretty close to lined up on center, pretty good penetration. For all the YouTube welders, tell me how awful I am. I know I'm awful. Like that one's a little more out, but yeah, so that's basically the welding that you need to do to get it on there. And it's pretty hot, so yeah, I just burnt my fingers. Small pause in the video. Yeah, so I'm gonna let that cool off a bit. Like I said, I just tapped it, didn't actually weld it until I got the bearings back out, because I'm sure that's probably around the bearings. We'll let that cool off a minute and then we'll get it reassembled. Actually, I got a new temperature gun from Milwaukee. Let's just find out how hot that is. 160 degrees. Seems a little bit cool for something that I just welded, but maybe I did that other side first. Well, anyway, yeah, temperature gun works. All right, and then when it's all done and back together, if it all goes through like it's supposed to, you'll have that bearing set up in there. Those big flat washers will work as the bushing or spacers for the gap that's left by the removing the old bushings. The bearing, the spacer, and the nut, and you will have an extremely smooth, with zero play clutch pedal. And the brake pedal obviously hasn't changed any, just because it's the same design. But this is very nice. Like, yes, this was well spent money. This is really only, like I said, I'm not even sure that it's absolutely necessary, but going with a heavier clutch and being stubborn and keeping the mechanical linkage, that was going to put quite a bit of load on those. You know, they're just a cast aluminum piece, so this should definitely improve how well that clutch works overall. Again, I got this all from Mustang Steve. I'll put a link in the description in the video, so y'all check it out. Thanks for watching.